bedtime over here. And this segment is called Bedtime Story with Mrs. Cat. I have my snuggle buddy from Jesus above here. This is Lucille. You know Mrs. Cat has 7 kingdom kids? I do. So, as we get ready to start our story, oh, hold on. You see my friends? What time is it? It's time to choose our snuggle buddy. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes. Lucille chose her snuggle buddy. Look. That's her snuggle buddy. And I'm going to choose one of Lucille's snuggle buddies, Miss Jellybeans. Here's Miss Jellybeans. So this is my snuggle buddy. Miss Lucille has her snuggle buddy. Do you have your snuggle buddy? All right. Well, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to go get your snuggle buddy. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I'm snug in my bed and I'm ready to read our story tonight. So let's get started. David and Goliath. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 1 through 51. The Philistines were enemies of God. Their army came to fight King Saul's army. A giant soldier named Goliath yelled, "Bring out your best soldier to fight me. If your strongest soldier defeats me, we will be your slaves," he boomed. "If I defeat him, you will be our slaves." King Saul's soldiers were afraid. They did not want to fight the giant. Meanwhile, young David was taking food to his brothers. They were soldiers in King Saul's army. When David reached the camp, he saw Goliath. David heard the giant's challenge. "I am not afraid to fight the giant," said David. King Saul called for David and told him, "You cannot fight the giant. You are too young." David replied, "God will be with me." King Saul gave his armor to David, but it was big and heavy. David wasn't used to wearing armor. David went to a nearby stream and picked up 5 stones. He stood before Goliath. The giant laughed at him. But David didn't care. He said, "I come before you in the name of the Lord who rules over all." David put a stone in his sling and ran toward the giant. Then he let the stone fly. It hit Goliath's forehead and he fell to the ground. The Philistines saw that their hero was dead. They ran away. Best friends. From the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, verses 14 through 23 and chapters 18 through 20. King Saul became grumpy. His servants asked David to play his harp for the king. The music cheered him up, so the king invited David to live in the palace. David became friends with King Saul's son, Prince Jonathan, and Jonathan's sister, Michal. David won many battles for the king. The people said David was a better fighter than the king. This made King Saul very angry and jealous. "Everyone likes David more than me," he thought. King Saul became so angry that he threw a spear at David, but David escaped. Then one day, Prince Jonathan warned David, "You must run far away." They promised to always be best friends. King David. From the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verses 1 to chapter 2, verse 4. And 1 Kings, chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. Saul chased David, but he never caught him. God watched over David. Then one day, David heard some sad news. King Saul and Prince Jonathan had died in battle. The people remembered what God had told them, and they went to find David. "David, you are our king!" they exclaimed. King David ruled over Israel for 40 years. He wrote many songs about God called Psalms. He even had plans to build a temple for God. David was a man who was dear to God's heart. When King David was old, he told his son Solomon, "You will be the next king of Israel. Be strong and obey God with all your heart. Then he will bless you." The Lord is my shepherd. Psalms chapter 23. This is one of King David's songs about God. The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need. He lets me lie down in fields of green grass. He leads me beside quiet waters. He gives me new strength. You prepare a feast for me right in front of my enemies. You pour oil on my head. My cup runs over. I am sure that your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Well, friends, that was a wonderful story. Mrs. Cat is tired, but before we go to sleep, did you enjoy the story? That's good. Can you tell Mommy and Daddy who the main characters were in this story? Very good. Did they solve the problem in this story? Good. If they did, what was the solution? What did they agree upon to fix or solve the problem? Very good. Well, I couldn't go without letting you know that my very own snuggle buddy is in bed. You want to see? Okay. Well, Miss Cat's going to her bed. I'm nice and warm. And I will see you next time at Bedtime Stories with Miss Cat. Okay? Good night. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Good night.